Hello, my name is Ana Clara Fernandez, and today I'll be interviewing my sister, Ana Lucia Fernandez, on the death of our grandparent, Luis Maria Fernandez Calan. To start off, I want you to please give us a background info of who he was so people can understand how impactful this death was for us.
My grandfather was a really, it's hard to remember him. He was meant to serve everyone. He was always putting our family as a priority. He was one of the founders of La Sirena, the supermarket here. He was a really hardworking man, completely devoted to his family. He had many friends. Everyone who knew him loved him. And yeah, he was an incredible human being.
Okay. Our first question is, are you comfortable, or can you talk about your grandparents with us? Can you share?
Yes.
Okay, so what is your best memory of your grandparents?
Probably in Pola de Allende, the place where he grew up. He showed me how to ride a bike.
Okay, how old were you there?
I was about 8.
Okay. What has been the hardest thing about losing your grandparent?
Not being able to see him every day because, well, of course, I lived near him, like we were literally neighbors. So I would cross every afternoon and always say hi to him. I would talk with him. We would share some stories or whatever. And when he died, of course, I always wanted to go that afternoon and talk with someone the way I talked to him, but he was gone.
How are you different now than when you were weak, where you lost him?
Now I value things more. I value friendship more. I value family more. Working. You get me clear, don't you?
What would you ask your grandfather if he were here today?
There's just so many things I want to ask. Probably what's heaven like, of course, because he was such a nice and hardworking and humble man that I'm pretty sure he's in heaven right now.
Anything else?
Well, yeah, I would probably ask him what inspired him to create what he has created. La Sirena is a really big supermarket. It's probably the biggest one in this country, and it's really interesting from where he got that motivation, that inspiration, because he came here in times of war, literally, and so it must have been really hard to just begin. Like, he had to have a lot of vision.
You were talking about when he came here to the country, because he's not a Dominican citizen. He was born in Spain and raised in Spain. Can you please tell us a little bit more about how he got here, how he built the business we have now?
So, it was times of war, and he was the biggest one of his family, the 2 brothers, and he felt the commitment that he must help. He was born in Pola de Allende, as I mentioned, where only 300 people live there currently, so it's a really small town. It's a beautiful place, but of course, there's not much future. There's no such thing as putting a supermarket there. It's impossible. So he got a job as a messenger, and they would pay him money to use transportation to give the things out. And what he did was that with the money he won, he would later buy it for a bicycle. And instead of using the train or the bus or whatever, he would go on his bicycle. So he was able then to win even more money. So he was able then to buy an airplane tickets to go to a different place, and he chose the Dominican Republic here. He got here, he bought a small store. It was where they sold cloth. and he was told, do whatever you want with this store, just don't change its name. So that's how Elsie Reina became Elsie Reina.
Okay, thank you. And can you talk about the biggest obstacle that your grandfather overcame in life?
Yeah. Well, probably many. I mean, his father abandoning them, his mother raising them alone, and he being the biggest one in times of war in Spain, Franco, the dictator. I mean, it must have been really hard. But also coming here and, building this, I mean, that must have really been hard. And moving here without friends or family, just alone, away from where he was born, away from whatever he knew, whatever he had left. But also, he went through a hard moment in his life when he went through surgery, which left him paralyzed from the hips down, all the way to his toes. Yet he was able to, the doctors told him the diagnostic was that he will never be able to walk again. Yet a year later, he was walking with a stick. Yet he was still walking. Proves them wrong.
And our last question is, what is the image of your grandfather that persists in you?
A hardworking, diligent, nice, caring, loving, a man who's always there to serve others. Sweet, careful, but most of all determined and persevering, and with a huge heart.
Thank you very much for sharing such a difficult moment in your life. And thank you for being with me today and allowing me to hear your story.